Building an audience on Instagram will completely change your life in 2024. If you're just another freelancer struggling to make money, or if you just started an agency and you hope that somehow you would get lucky and land some really big clients, you will really struggle. And most importantly, you will never truly reach financial freedom. With the rise of AI and so many automated tools, you need something that is AI proof, something that will give you the leverage that you need to stop trading your time for money. This is what building a personal brand will do for you. If you're still looking at Instagram like just another social media app, you will be left behind. It's time for you to realize that you need to create more than you consume, and then life will change. And this is how it changed for me. I started as a freelancer 7 years ago, doing graphic design. And I remember my first project was for $7 in total. And on my PayPal, I think I got like 5, and after all of the taxes, I got like 3 in my bank account. So not amazing. Now, obviously, that was just the start, and I was slowly kind of like building my skills, building my portfolio. And fast forward, I started to get like $100, $200, $300 contracts with all of these different clients from all around the world. Now, at the time, that was really cool for me, and I thought I made it. I was making money online, and so even though that felt really good, I remember how stressed out and how burnt out I was, because I was working so much for so little, because obviously you're in that space where you're just another freelancer. And so I realized I'm never going to be respected if I keep going on this path. Why? Because I was in this market that was really competitive with all of these different freelancers that were just trying to lowball, and everybody was trying to basically get the gig for as little as possible just so they can say they got the gig. And I didn't really like that. I didn't feel respected. I felt like my time wasn't valued. And that's the thing about freelancing. You don't have the leverage. You don't have the respect. And unless you're like a freelancer that has been doing it for like 5 years or 10 years and you're like an expert in that field, you're not allowed to really charge a lot. I mean, you are allowed to, but not a lot of people will actually pay you for it. And I hit that ceiling pretty fast. And so again, I had to take a step back and actually realize that I'm never going to be truly valued, and I'm never going to actually get paid the way I want to get paid in this market. And so I had to make some changes. Now, fast forward, at the end of 2022, I started my first creative agency. Now, this was better because I was getting higher contracts, I was getting paid better, but still, I didn't really feel like I had the leverage. I didn't really feel respected, because at the end of the day, it's like you're working for your client. It's like you have another boss and you're not really the boss. You don't really have full control over your time. You still need to deliver. You still need to work on the project. And I didn't really like that, because no matter how high the contract would get, no matter how high the budget would get, I would still, at the end of the day, trade my time for money, and that's what I was trying to get away from. And so what I've learned from the creative agency is that no matter how much you get paid, you still need to take a look at how you actually make that money and how much are you willing to actually give away to get that money. And basically after that, I was just trying to find a way to make money and to actually be respected and to have a name outside of just services, outside of just trading my time, trading my hours for money infinitely. And so I started an e-com store, and that really helped with actually seeing how I can make passive income from something that I created without actually having to be on there like 24/7. But the thing that really changed my entire mindset when it comes to making money online was this online e-learning platform that I started. So I started this with a business partner, and basically what we did was we created this online platform for guitar courses that were aimed at beginners. And basically we just thought about how are we going to actually bring traffic to the platform, and how are we actually going to sell memberships. Basically what we did is we went on TikTok and on Instagram, and we started to slowly build our audience. Now, we would post videos that niche would particularly like, such as playing like popular guitar songs, and basically just blew up on these platforms and really built the audience. Now, this obviously generated a lot of demand, and then we kind of like funneled everybody to the website where they actually bought the memberships. So that was the moment I really realized that, wait a minute, like I don't have to go and like chase clients. I don't have to go chase some money. I could just build the ecosystem, build an audience, generate attention, generate demand, and just bring people in and sell digital products 24/7. So that completely changed my mindset, because up until that point, in my mind, the only way you could make money online was literally if you just went out of your way to try and find some clients and to trade your time for the money. And that just completely changed everything. Soon after the platform and the e-com store, I started to think more and more about my personal brand. I wanted to have something of my own. I wanted to be myself in this online space and actually share what I've learned, because I remember I had been wanting to start my personal brand for so long. I just didn't know what I could talk about. I just didn't, and I tried along the way, but I kind of faked it and nothing really worked. So at the end of 2023, last year, I was like, okay, this is the time for me to actually start and to take everything that I've learned and to just talk about it. And so I started with Instagram. At first, I was trying all of these different strategies. And even though I grew on Instagram before with the platform, this was different because this was for my own personal brand. So it was a lot more personal. And I started to really overthink, okay, should I post this? Should I post that? Should I say this? Should I say like that? And it was just like really chaotic. For the first 3 months or so, I didn't really get any results like whatsoever. I was growing a couple of like 100 followers, but it didn't really pop off for me and nothing really connected. Like I didn't connect the dots at that point in terms of what exactly I could talk about. I had all of these different ideas, but I had to take a step back and realize that I really need to think about my vision, about the niche, about what I'm trying to say, or else I could just try this Instagram thing forever. It's not going to work. With the online platform, it did work because we knew the mission. Like I knew what the mission was. I knew what the why was. But when I started, even though I had all of these different skills and I was ready to talk about them, I just needed to take a look at how I could package that. On this journey, everything kind of started to make sense for me the minute I stopped putting on an act and the minute I just focused on one single thing. And that was basically teaching people and just showing people how I actually sold my digital product. And so I basically focused on that. I stopped posting motivational content, motivational reels. I stopped like posting random stories, and everything was super focused. And I told myself, and I made a promise to myself, I was going to post every single day. No matter what, I was going to post every single day. And before I knew it, I was starting to get more and more engagement. And eventually I had my first viral reel, I had my first viral video, and then everything changed from that video. I knew that with Instagram, I needed to create something for free that offers value to people and just give it to them whenever they actually left a comment on my reel. And so I did that. I took all of the skills that I had about building an audience, about selling digital products, about the mindset, about the framework, everything. And I put that into a free PDF. Now, fast forward to when all took off, when I went viral, I was starting to get hundreds and hundreds of DMs and comments. And basically people were downloading my product, my guide 24/7. And that felt amazing. Like I realized once again what building an audience can do for you. I realized that you could have the best product in the world, but if you're not going to build an audience, if you're not going to actually communicate to your audience, you're not going to be able to sell it. And so basically I went from just giving my guide to 3 people to now thousands and thousands of people. And I had so much demand that it was getting crazy. I had to automate everything. And the beautiful thing about all of this is that even though I was offering my guide, my PDF for free, people were still giving me money. So I was starting to get sales, like completely passive income, just from like a free product. And at that point, I didn't even think about selling a paid product. It was just a free thing. I went from chasing the money to now building the ecosystem, building something that will actually spark conversation, that will provide value to people, and that will in turn sell digital products for me 24/7 passively. And that's been amazing. So if you want to make money online, don't just go and be another unknown freelancer. Don't just spam people to get clients, to get like a $50 gig. No, create your personal brands, build an ecosystem that provides value to people, build your Instagram audience, and you will see how your life can completely change in just a few months. And so right now, if you want to start posting, if you want to start your Instagram, you need to realize that this is going to be a difficult journey. You're not going to make it in 1 week. You're not going to make it in 1 month. And it's going to be really, really hard for you to actually figure out what you need to do, because the more you post, the more you get to know yourself. And it takes time to grow into your full self as a personal brand. And you're going to be afraid of posting yourself, of filming yourself, of just putting yourself out there and being vulnerable with people. And that's normal. At that stage, that is normal. And I want to tell you that the most important thing right now for you, before you start, before you do anything, is to actually take a step back and, like I said before, define your entire vision. Define your niche, like define what you want to do this for, what you stand up for. And that will help you so much along this journey, because it helped me. It will help you during those days where you don't really feel like posting, when you don't really get the results you want. And so that's the thing that you need to start with. A lot of people just jump in to post, like film 50 videos and just try to post as much as they can without actually working on that foundation. So that foundation is your vision, is your actual reason for doing all of this. Because I have a lot of people asking me, where should I start from? Like, what should I start with? And I always tell them this, like, don't just go in and like film reels like endlessly and just like click on post without actually knowing why you're doing it. So kind of like define that for yourself. Just put it on a notepad, like make sure you actually have your mission and your vision down, because that will help you so much. And a lot of people, when they do actually have that, then they actually struggle with just strategies, and they actually struggle with just implementing a plan that works for them and that will get them the results that they want. And so that's why I want to help you guys like as much as possible. And in the next video, I'm going to actually share the strategies that I've used myself to grow on Instagram, and how I kind of like overcame that fear of like posting and that overthinking it, that entire process, because I believe that will help so many of you achieve the results and the freedom that you want without actually being frustrated, and actually enjoying this entire process, because believe me, it's a beautiful one. So I'll see you in the next video.